I have a problem. You also have this problem. We have the same crippling, never-ending problem. A gaming backlog. Every single person has an extensive list of games on their pile of shame. Games you bought on sale and told yourself you would play. The game you bought with your friends only to play it for one day and then retreat back to the same 3 games you play in rotation. Then you get the bright idea of playing an old franchise from start to finish, only to remember there are 9 games and over 100 hours worth of content to play. Looking at you, past Jimbo. No matter how much you try to tackle it, you end up seeing it grow more and more. And there is mounting pressure to play and finish everything. And you tell yourself you will. And then a new $70 hotness releases, and all of those plans go to shit. So I am here with a much needed intervention to address the elephant in the room and talk about the reality of having a gaming backlog and what causes it. What is the problem in question? And I'm also here to tell myself the very same realities. Call it a lesson in self-reflection. So let's begin the journey. There are hundreds of games being released every month across every platform. New big budget multi-hour experiences, smaller indie games, early access titles, subscription services such as Game Pass and PlayStation Plus adding games to their catalog all the time, remasters and remakes, multiplayer titles, MMOs, live service games. The list of games is endless, all competing for your most valuable resource: time. There are 24 hours in the day, unless someone's found the secret 25th hour, and I'd like to know if you have. And there are simply not enough hours in the day, week, or year to consume all the content that we want. There is a very consistent path that we take as humans, which dramatically reduces the amount of time we have access to. When we discovered gaming at the point of our lives, I could hazard a guess it was very young, whether that be the N64, the Sega Mega Drive, PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2, Xbox 360 or the PlayStation 3. When I look back, the Xbox 360 and PS3 are almost 20 years old. Am I old now? Damn. Whatever system you got access to, whatever piece of gaming hardware that you played, you seemingly had endless amounts of time to play. You would go to school, come home, play until dinner, and then play until you went to bed. And then you grew older. More responsibilities would then get in the way of gaming. Homework, exams, a social life. Wait. Gamers have those? Eventually, you're searching for a job after leaving school or going to college, and then maybe you're finding a group of people that you can call your friends. You meet a girl or a significant other, you get married and you have kids or start a family, you get a dog, and suddenly you have responsibilities on top of responsibilities. All that takes up a significant portion of your day, leaving you with very little time to boot up your favorite console and sink hours into any game. This is our first reality and something we have to accept. We simply do not have enough time to play all the games we want to, including our gaming backlog. So why are we wasting it worried about the pile of games that we haven't beaten yet? We naturally form this level of guilt with our backlog, but accepting that you may never get that number down to 0 is an important step. There will always be new games that you'll want to play, games that you will have missed, but rather than looking at this monolithic list of games thinking, how will I find the time, or I'm feeling guilty, you're supposed to enjoy it. Enjoy gaming. It's not a job, not a chore. It's a hobby. It's supposed to be fun. But this isn't the only thing that is fueling your ever-growing backlog. It's that ever-growing, constant fear that seeps into your mind of FOMO. The fear of missing out, or more commonly known as FOMO, is something we experience in our life all the time. The intense need to watch whatever the new show is, read whatever the new book is, or keep up with all the forms of media, news, playing games. There's a constant, overwhelming need to consume all of these things and to constantly not miss out. Therefore, FOMO exists. I know I experience this frequently whenever a brand new game releases that literally everyone is talking about. Baldur's Gate 3, Elden Ring, new expansions for games that you enjoy, Dragon's Dogma 2 more recently. I could sit here and name all the times I've fallen into the FOMO trap. The FOMO trap can lead you to buying games you are not 100% invested in, thus adding those games to your backlog. I do this especially with fantasy games that look awesome, but I know that only a certain type of fantasy game really pulls me in and makes me want to play. I'm sure you have bought a game and then looked back 6 months later and gone to yourself, why the hell did I buy that game? But is this entirely our fault? No, but kinda. With the sheer number of games releasing, FOMO is going to be an issue that you have to control. You have control over what you purchase and what you want to play. It is a tough thing to break, and I have had to do this a lot. But that isn't exactly the only problem going on here. Games have evolved so much in the last 5 years alone to now being constantly live that FOMO just exists in all of our games. Always releasing new updates or patches, rotations of the microtransaction store, dropping expansions, constantly having daily or weekly activities to pull your attention in. And this isn't just one game, it's
all of them.
Beside the obvious joke, a study was released quite recently which showed people are still playing 6-year-old games that have been updated to this day, including things such as Fortnite, Apex Legends, Grand Theft Auto, and Minecraft, to name a few. All of these games are vying for your attention to pull you in and take that valuable resource, as we've just spoken about, that is time. Pulling yourself away from these games, these live games, after you've been so invested to them is tough. Hey, look at me. I just recently took a break from Destiny 2 and they've pulled me right back in. The reason our backlog grows or never seems to get any smaller is because we constantly add these new games to it, because we are fearing that we won't get to enjoy what everyone else is enjoying, because we're so wrapped up in the games that we're currently playing that don't give us time to pull away unless you actually dedicate yourself to having a break from them. We're never able to carve out that time to beat the games on our backlog, thus fueling the problem. The last core issue with our gaming backlogs is one that probably needs a bit of self-reflection, but makes us feel the worst. And that is ourselves. We are our own worst enemy. This may be just a me thing, but I know when I'm adding games to my backlog. I know that when I see a new game that I can't finish right away, I need to put it on the back burner for whatever the next new thing is. Countless early access games, live service games I dive into, knowing full well that I won't be able to check out every update because there's physically not enough time for me to do so. We often put a lot of guilt and shame on ourselves with our gaming backlog because we've either spent a hell of a lot of money on the games that we've already purchased there and we want to get our value out of it. But we're also ashamed because of how large our pile of shame has gotten. It kind of just festers there and goes, oh my god, I've got so many games that I need to play. But that's not even the funniest part. At any point, any random thought about a game can cross your mind, warranting a replay of a game. Whether that's our favorite game that we've just wanted to talk about and discuss and it makes us want to play again. Take Fallout recently, with the sudden surge of people playing the game again, myself included, because of the TV show. This could be something like I do myself, going, remember Bayonetta? Like, why don't you play all 3 of those games? And then suddenly, it's added to your backlog, and you haven't even touched the game yet. You haven't even booted it up, you haven't started a fresh playthrough, you've done 0, but it's on your backlog for some reason. Then comes the issue that I like to call the gaming amnesia loop. Picture this. You start a playthrough of any of your favorite games, whether they're 100-hour experiences or 40-hour games, whatever that may be. Take, for example, Fallout 4. You get 40 hours or so into the game, you get deep into the story, and then life gets in your way, responsibilities, and you don't have as much time to play it. Then you find some time, and unfortunately, it's 2 months later, and you have no clue where you are in the story, what your motivations were against specific characters, what your next move was, what your build was. Whatever these things are within the game, you've just completely forgot it. You have no memory of what you were doing. So, you start a brand new playthrough, and we start the cycle all over again. You get 2 months in, you forget everything, and you start over and over and over. There are ways that you can break this loop, like for example, keeping notes of your playthrough is really handy to be able to reference back to them so you can kind of sink into it. I've done that before, but still, a lot of people get caught in this loop. We are our own problem, but we are the solution to that problem. As mentioned in this video, there are many things that contribute to our own gaming backlogs. So try not to feel guilty about it. Try not to feel ashamed, because we all have one, including me. The biggest lessons I've learned whilst writing this video and reflecting are the following. Enjoy what you are playing, regardless of whatever it is. Don't spend time trying to complete a game because you have to, or because it's on an arbitrary list. It's a fast way to become burnt out on your hobby. Accepting that your backlog will grow and get larger, but remember, it will get smaller when you play one game. You will always feel bad, and it won't help, and it may never fully be wiped clean, but just one game is progress. And then you do another game and you start to feel better. And finally, we have a limited amount of energy to spend during the day. So instead of thinking about the games you have to play or need to play to get off a list, play them. Try and pick something. I know it can be hard with the sheer amount of games and whatever you're feeling on any given day, but just go with that feeling. Play something, because I know firsthand, thinking about something and never actually acting on it will never make you feel any better. And that's just a good life lesson in general that I've learned. So apply that to your own gaming backlog. Just play something, have some fun, and enjoy what you are doing. This is how we tackle the gaming backlog problem. Don't be so hard on yourself and just enjoy the games that you play. Wow. I got a little real and a bit intense there, and a bit of a existential and kind of life preachy and stuff. So, okay, enough of that. Back to dumb jokes and silly faces going forward, yeah? Yeah? If this video has resonated with you in any way, please leave a comment down in the comment section. I'd love to engage and see how people feel about their own backlogs. And if you've enjoyed this video and you want to see more content, leave a like on it, and also leave a subscription to the channel. And as always, thank you very much for watching. This has been It's Jimbo, and I'll see you guys next time.